Literally dragging my feet this morning. Yeah, dragging my feet. Actually, it's foggy out this morning. So yeah, I had a very amazing weekend. I think I did 20 on Saturday, then another 30 Sunday. I'm still slacking. Those 2 days I should have run at least 80 miles to 100 miles. Still slacking, but I did the 28 and the 30, Still slacking. I'll get it together, don't worry. So today, after like almost, I don't know how many miles in the last 2 days, today is the hardest day of the run of the week. So it's really funny because my brain just knows all I have to do is 10 miles. So it's already lazy. So I'm just going to drag these feet, So this thing, and when I drag my feet like that, so today is the day that I really, even though it's just a 10 mile, I really just drag my feet. It literally takes me like about 2.5 hours. You believe that? So when I drag that feet and slow down that way, those 2 long runs that I've done, this is when I recover right here. And I'm okay because of the meditation and the stretching. So today is the recovery day from those 2 long runs. The only thing is I had to slow down, like really slow down today. So I'm actually dragging my feet this morning. The fog is out. So it gives me an excuse to just kind of just look around and just get ready for another week like everyone else. Get ready for another week. Yeah. I've actually been up since 1:30 this morning. That's the time that I get up anyway, so it's not a big deal. I've always get up like this. I'm an early bird. I don't know what it is, but I like getting up that time of the morning. It gives me time for myself. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I've always got up like that. It doesn't matter what the situation is. So it's just a habit. It's a habit that I developed over many, many years. And that all comes from a spiritual base, actually, trying to get in line with oneself and, just trying to get to know oneself. So I like to have time for myself. The first 2-3 hours of that early morning is for me, where I think and just woosah and breathe. Then I get on the road. So it's just, another day. So it's out early, It's funny, by 1 p.m. this afternoon, my head is like, I'm ready to sleep. That's when I take a 15-minute nap. It doesn't matter where I am. Once I took that nap, voila, and we're ready to go. And the lesser you eat, the easier it is for you to get up in the morning. When one practices how to eat light, you don't sleep a lot. Because what we don't realize a lot of times, the amount of food that we eat is what makes us grouchy in the morning, and especially the time of the day that we eat it. Because I think sometimes as a human being, we're beautiful creatures, and I think when one is giving an opinion, giving it under a loving manner is more resonating than just talking about it, because we all know, nobody's an expert. I overeat sometimes too. Would you believe that? Even though it's just a couple of bananas, but I still overeat. So I'm not sure. I'm not an expert when it comes to how to eat. But I just think, for me, eating light means I don't sleep a lot. It means I can get up when I want to. It means my body's fully rest after like 4 or 5 hours. Like the last 2 days, I have spent more time on my feet than sleep. And all I just need during this period of long runs is just my little 5 miles, and I'm okay. And I think the light eating, the stretching, the yoga, all that comes into play. So like literally this weekend, I've spent more time on my feet than sleep. You know, and it's really funny what the hell human bodies are capable of. And that's why I call them Uncle Lions, you know, the lions. That's why they sleep a lot. Because their mother biscuit can eat. They can eat. So the more you eat, the more you sleep. And especially if you go in, everybody knows this anyway. You know, you're a bunch of geniuses. You know this. Especially after 7 p.m., going to bed with a big belly, you know, with a lot of food in your system. It bloats you. And in your sleep, believe what we don't realize, a lot of times, our body works harder when it's digesting meat. There's nothing wrong with meat or anything like that. You know, believe it or not, the energy that your body has to use to digest meat is a lot harder when you eat lighter. So that way you don't need to sleep. So, you know, your brain is trying to make you rest and at the same time digest this heavy food that you have in you. And it's just too much. And also, how do I put this? It's not really normal for us to be bloated up the way we make ourselves look. You know, it's not normal. You know, we could try to rectify it by saying I'm just big bone. No, it's just not normal. You know, because you were not born like that. You know how you look like when you're a little kid. It's just a habit that we've developed over the years. And there's nothing wrong with it. You know, but trying to rectify it is another thing. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. And certain liquid that we put in our system, you know, like the beers, it's beautiful, you know, when you drink that thing, you're a little tipsy, you dance around. But the thing is, you know, it leaves that little God in your stomach. you know, for a guy of 50, I look kind of good for 50. You know, so those little things like that, yeah. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's not about judgmental, because all those things kept in place, shall I say. It's all about balance, you know. And you know, and that's why I would say just going to church, mosque, or whatever you go to is not all it. You still have to do your work, and that work is balance, and that balance comes from food. You know, and a lot of times, as monkey, as biscuit as this must sound, too much food in your stomach doesn't allow one to focus on your higher self. You know, like it's just not, you know, like you could hide behind it, but the reality is when you really, really want to study self and the whole thing behind spirituality, meditation, too much food in your stomach just won't help you. You know, the food has to be balanced. So pretty much in Sanskrit, I've read a lot too. Like the Buddhist culture, the yogi culture, you know, they, like literally, I won't say they, because we all understand that we are to not overeat and at the same time not undereat. You know, so what we tend to do sometimes, we don't eat at all, which is not good, and we overeat. So we kind of just stuck. When in reality is, we just need to be in the middle. Not overeat and not undereat. And that thing takes practice. And, you know, in our Western culture here, we think we need a dietitian to practice that. No, it all starts from your spiritual basis. And a lot of time in our synagogue, we took that out of our chapters. Because if you want to deliver a message to people, you want them to understand you properly. If you want to talk about the word of God to people, you want them to understand you properly. But with a bloated stomach, with a big stomach, with too much food in their stomach. They just can't understand you properly. And a lot of times, it leaves room for the messenger to start manipulating a lie. So, all these things, we don't like to talk about it. But it's not out of a, it's out of a beautiful encounter. Because I think food, drinking certain things has taken more lives than natural disasters. Even though we don't want to talk about it. Those things that create more misery. A lot of the things that we do is not because we're bad people. It's not because of the color of our skin or where you're from. It is based on what you put in your system. We are just like a car. If you drive a diesel or a regular car, if you put, like for example, if you want to save money on gas, pee in a bucket and put it in your car, see if it works. And see how much money you save. Yeah, if you want to save money on gas, just pee in the bucket and pour it in the car. See if a car will work. That's just an example. You want to save money on gas? Just pee overnight. Drink lots of water, pee in the bucket, and when it's full, a couple of gallons, and pour it in the car. See if the car will work, and see how much money you save then. So that's just that's just how the body is. And a lot of times we just don't know. We just don't know. We are not being taught. And it's really, that's just that simple. Like for example, me growing up, I never thought the day would come when I would say I missed living in a village of Africa. I call it Ifo. Because I used to look down on everybody there. I thought they have no intelligence. I thought they don't know what they're talking about. And when I begin to read and I see that, wow, these people are actually a lot wiser than I thought. Because I thought because of the way I talk, I was better than them. So a lot of times, the whole essence of understanding the creator or God or whatever you call it is the ability to share information with people. Because a lot of people just don't know. We've been misinformed. And especially when it comes to our psychological and our spiritual beliefs. So those things, and evidence of all these, we have this thing called technology these days. All these things, you can Google them. You can Google them. And don't let my accent or my skin color define that, well, he should know this. Because that's another thing that we really do good here. We always think a certain individual has a talent. We think we got to look a certain way, to understand this thing called creativity, God. And we are guilty of it. We just think that way, We think if I wear a certain uniform, I'm going to use an example. I'm not going to say black or white. Like if an Indian brother comes here today and has a dot on his face, we literally think, because if he's Indian, he understands yoga and meditation. No, biscuit, no. A lot of time when I conversate with a lot of these people from Asia, China, they are amazed about what I understand about Buddhism. They're looking at me like, what? When I talk to a lot of people from India, and I'm talking about their Sanskrit, I'm talking about the Vedas, I'm talking about the Bhagavad Gita, they just literally looking at me like, what the biscuit? And I think it's that stereotype. You want to have a conversation about the Bible? Let's go. I've read it back to back. You want to talk about the Quran? Yes, I got you. I read the Surah. You want to talk about the Jewish Bible? Yeah, got you. That's just how it is. The list goes on. Let's go. And what those things does, it allows you to see things, everything as once. We stop judging.
Time 2 hours 29 minutes
and you have to
32 seconds.
Today
Distance,
I'm really
8 miles.
dragging
Pace,
this
minutes,
feet.
41
literally
seconds
dragging
per mile.
my feet
Split
this morning.
pace 18 minutes 53
Dragging my
seconds
feet.
per mile.
And I want people to hear this because I drag these feet today like I'm really this 10 miles dragging the feet. It's going to take away all the pressure that I put on my body. because I've run over 60 miles in the last almost 60 miles in the last 2 days. So this right here is going to take away all that pressure that I put on my body. It's like relaxing. So let me go ahead. I'm going to finish this last 2 miles. This thing is going to take me about 2.5 hours today. This last 2 miles. And like I said, do your own research. Let's close our eyes. You don't have to look a certain way to understand the meaning of God or whatever you want to call it. I laugh a lot these days because some of us are just clairvoyant. So I'm going to leave it like this. Take a yoga class. Meditate. You want to start yourself? Teach yourself yoga and get up every morning and meditate. I could bet my life on it. Every morning, get your biscuit up. Meditate. Teach yourself yoga. Read different books. I even have a ritual where I write to myself every morning. Every part of my body that I want to get better, I just write to it. That's how I do my praying. Get up in the morning, write to yourself, and you be amazed. Write to this. And always remember, nobody can teach you about God but you. God is like a first kiss, because I know that first day when you were kissing somebody, nobody was teaching you. You just go by instinct. So, that said, and that's why I like doing all these jogging things. I don't want to say rise, club, but you know what? This is it. So let me go ahead today. I'm really dragging this feet today, just having fun with nature, and it's foggy out there, and be safe. One love.